Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making a golf ball display for my husband for Father's Day. And I took this old MDF sign I had from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be cutting the shape of a golf green out of it, using a bowl to get that circle. And it's kind of a kidney bean shape. And once I get that drawn on, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and a craft knife and kind of just cut that, scoring it, because with this MDF you don't actually have to cut all the way through. You just need to score it a couple times and it will break off pretty clean. Because this still had the paper on this side, I did have to go through and score that a little bit just to cut that paper. Once the shape was cut out, this glitter was driving me nuts, so I knew that this had to go. So I started by getting off the big chunks that I could using my razor knife, and then once I got off the top layer, I did use some water and the scraper to scrape off the remaining paper. And it doesn't damage this MDF using water as long as you don't completely soak it. And I did end up using my hair dryer just to dry it up in the end to kind of speed along the process. I then flipped it back over and used the scraper to go along the edge to kind of smooth that out. When I cut it with the razor knife, it did kind of bubble up on that edge, so just scraping those pieces off. And then I sanded it down with some sandpaper just to make the edges smooth so they weren't rough. So like I said, this is going to display specialty golf balls that my husband has gotten over the years from playing in tournaments and stuff. And I'm actually going to be using golf tees to hold the golf ball, and they're going to be sticking out. So right here I have a golf tee that it's broken, and I just colored some pencil on it so that when I pressed it into the board it would kind of leave a little mark. And then once I knew how far apart they needed, I was able to use my ruler to kind of do the rest of it, and just marked out spacing for each golf ball. Each dot will have a tee in it, and then the golf ball will sit between the dots. If that makes sense. Once I knew how large the golf ball was, I was able to continue on down the line and add more rows to this. Now this section was a little bit of trial and error. I don't do math, I don't like math, I just eyeball it, and I was trying to get them kind of centered on the board and roughly the same width from the edges. And then once I had all the holes in place, I used a drill and figured out which drill bit matched the size of the tee. And then just like when I cut it, it bubbles up a little bit, so I scraped that off with the scraper. And then it was time to paint this. So I started off by painting the edge a dark green that was darker than the felt that I'm going to be using later on. And I just focused on the edges because the center will be covered in felt to make it actually look like a green. And then I wanted this green to not be a flat piece on the flat backing, so I used some of the excess MDF that I'd cut off, made these squares, and then painted them green so that if they happened to be seen, they would blend in. And then to get these stickers off of this felt, I ended up using my hair dryer, and it just peels it off instead of pulling on the felt, because this is pretty thin. And to get the felt cut out, I ended up making a template and cutting it down to fit the unpainted section so that I could trace around because I knew I couldn't use the felt straight. I had to kind of angle it a little bit so that it would fit on this smallish piece of felt. And here I am going around just marking the edge so that I have a line to cut around. Once that was all cut out, I flattened out my felt and used a permanent marker to draw a line on this. Had I thought about this first, I would have flipped over my paper and done it backwards, because I had to go back through, and even though I'm cutting on the inside of the line, there were still little pieces of black that I didn't want those to show up. And then here I am using the hinge method to kind of place where I wanted the felt to be, and then just using Aleene's tacky glue, I painted on a layer of glue just in sections. That way I could make sure everything was lined up and the glue didn't dry before I placed it down. Then I took one of my Cricut weeding tools and just kind of poked through the felt where the hole was, and I was kind of struggling at first, and then I realized I just had it holding it up and realized that I could actually see where the holes were through the light coming through, and that made it way easier to get those done. I did end up waiting to finish putting these holes in till it dried. Probably a day later I ended up doing that. Got a couple holes in and realized that it just wasn't dry enough. And then here I am taking 2 of the tees, and I got this package of wooden golf tees at Walmart. They're just wood colored, they're not painted. Here I'm just trying to figure out how far in they need to go, and then I will end up marking them and cutting them down, because I don't want all of that sticking out the back, but I wanted to figure out where they needed to be. And then I used these 2 as templates for the rest of the, like, I don't know, 27 or something that I used. Because of the shape of these, I realized the groove of my ruler would hold them, and I could just mark the ruler, and then was able to mark each one of them where I needed it to be cut. And then I created a groove in this block of wood so that it would hold it in place as I used this saw to score the outside, and then I just snapped the end off. Even though these are raw wood, there is some sort of protective coating on the outside, which was not very thick, so I was able to take a piece of 85 grit sandpaper and sand those down. And then I took some, I don't know what color this is, I will insert it here later, and I just painted each one of the golf tees. I did not wipe off the color because I wanted it to be very vibrant, and when I wiped it off of them, it just wasn't, so I just painted it on and left it to dry. It did take at least 24 hours for it to dry, and then using a paintbrush, I stuck that down in each one of the holes just to make it a little wider, because these were very tight now that the felt was on there, and continued to do that. I did want them sticking out the back slightly just so that I can attach them easier. And I'm going to take super glue, gel super glue, and put it on the back side of these. And then once that's in there, I will go ahead and twist it back out so that they are flush. And then once that was done, I took my hot glue gun and just pushed it on the back, you know, put a little daub on the back just to kind of hold that in place as well, in addition to the super glue. And repeated that on all of the tees. And then, I also used a combination of hot glue and super glue to glue down those squares in various places on the back side, so that I could then use those to attach it to the backing piece. While that dried, it was time to work on the frame. I got this from Goodwill. I was kind of sad about having to take baby Jesus out, but I'll repurpose that for another time. Started by taking off these staples that were in here. I'm assuming they had like corner protectors on it when it originally came from Kirkland's, but this frame was just beautiful and I thought it would work good with this project. So I removed all of that, and then once all like this hardware was off of it there, I really wanted to reuse this, I keep wanting to call it cardboard, y'all. It's not cardboard. This paper, butcher paper, because it was already cut to size. It was really thick and nice, and I knew I could get those stickers that are on it off. So I used my scraper and a craft knife just to get it off. There was a strip of double-sided sticky tape holding it on, but being patient and going slow, I was able to get it off with no visible damage on the outside section. There were so many staples on this inside holding in the baby Jesus picture. I used pliers and a screwdriver just to get those out. In one place, these were really long staples as well, and in one place I just tried to pull it out and I did end up breaking the frame a little bit. I knew it wasn't that big of a deal because I could just fix it and it'd be covered up by that paper anyways. And once those were done, I used a 11 by 14 inch flat canvas from Dollar Tree as my backing, and it was a little bit long on the sides, so I did have to trim off just a tiny bit. I did not record that because I forgot to hit record, thought it was and it wasn't. But then I took some of this Waverly chalk paint in Cashew and painted that on, gave it a nice good coat, and I thought, oh, this will look like sand, it'll look great. And so that's what I did. Well, then it was time for the frame, and I liked the color of the frame, but I didn't like the gold on the frame. I'm not a gold person. There is nothing in my home that has gold accents. It's not my jam. So I added some brown paint to the chalk paint to kind of give it a darker color, and painted that on the entire frame, making sure to get into all the little details and grooves on this. It's now story time. So when I met my husband, he did not like golf. He thought it was slow and boring, and mind you, he was racing motocross at the time, which is much more fast-paced. A couple years ago, went and did a golf tournament for his work and fell in love with the game and realized how much more fun it was than it was when he was younger. And now he's a golfer and he wants to go out every weekend. But for years, I got to hear how much he disliked golf. So for me to actually be creating a golf piece at this point is kind of ironic from where we started. Once that was dried, I realized I didn't really like the tan on yellow color. So I decided to take some of that brown paint, and using a sponge brush, I kind of stippled it on, which gave the frame a really cool texture with the paint as well, which I like that much better, and it'll go with his golf stuff better. So I did that, and then by the time I had finished this one side, I kept looking at that yellow of the cashew on the back and was like, I just don't like that. But I really liked the tan color of the frame and realized that I had quite a bit of that tan left on my plate here. So I ended up taking that tan and covering the cashew with it, which brought cohesiveness to the entire piece, because that yellow would have clashed pretty bad with the green of the green. And once that was done, I went back to painting the rest of the frame, and I did end up giving it 2 good coats, stippling the entire way. Once everything was dry, I took both those painted pieces outside and gave them a good couple coats of just some clear spray paint just to seal it in. That way, because I did use chalk paint on this, that way I could dust it, wipe it down, whatever. If anything spilled on it, it wouldn't be ruined. And did that to the back piece and also to the frame. And with the dark green around the golf green, I ended up using Mod Podge. And like I said earlier, I used a combination of hot glue and super glue to glue this to the back frame. And then once the back tan piece was in, I hot glued that in place around the edge just to secure that in instead of using staples again. And then I have this double-sided sticky tape roller that I used to attach the paper to the back of the frame. And once that was done, I attached the hardware back onto the piece, and this piece is ready to go. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me today and crafting this Father's Day gift. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already for more crafts. I know it's hit and miss at this point. My kids being home, voiceovers are a little harder these days than they were while they're in school. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!